Roman Polanski has long been a controversial figure, not only due to his films but also because of his personal views and the public reactions they have sparked. Throughout his career, Polanski has made statements that have often brought attention to his relationships with young women. One of the most widely discussed moments came when he openly confessed to a preference for younger girls, which stirred a mix of admiration and condemnation. In particular, he once spoke about his experience photographing young girls for French Vogue, explaining that he found a certain allure in their youthfulness. His comments, while straightforward, have ignited fierce debates over where the line should be drawn between artistic expression and personal desires. His candidness on the matter has only deepened the divide in how his actions are viewed, questioning the boundaries between age, attraction, and societal expectations. Roman Polanski's public declarations have made him one of the most controversial figures in Hollywood. His admission of being attracted to underage girls and his subsequent legal battles have placed his personal life under intense scrutiny. This aspect of his persona has sparked heated debates about morality, ethics, and whether an artist's personal conduct should influence the reception of their work. Many critics contend that his statements and actions, especially regarding his conviction for the sexual assault of a 13-year-old girl in 1977, have overshadowed his cinematic achievements. They argue that his history should not be ignored, and that such behavior has broader implications for the entertainment industry's treatment of power and consent. On the other hand, some defenders of Polanski point to cultural and generational differences, suggesting that his views may be more common or acceptable in certain circles. Nevertheless, his words have profoundly impacted conversations about the intersection of art, morality, and accountability. These discussions continue to evolve as society grapples with how to reconcile the complexities of personal behavior with professional recognition. His controversial statements have ensured that his legacy will always be subject to debate, shaping the way future generations perceive both his work and his character. Roman Polanski's public admissions about his controversial preferences have become a defining aspect of his persona. In interviews over the years, he has openly discussed his admiration for young girls, a stance that has been met with widespread disapproval. This admission, along with his ongoing legal troubles, has created a stark contrast between the artistic achievements he is celebrated for and the personal decisions that have consistently brought him under public and legal scrutiny. His personal life, marred by accusations and legal battles, has overshadowed much of his career, leading many to view him as a divisive figure. Despite his significant contributions to cinema, the focus often shifts to his actions outside of his work, leading to calls for more rigorous examination of both his career and his personal behavior. These revelations have left an indelible mark on his legacy, reinforcing the notion that an artist's personal actions can dramatically affect how their work is perceived and remembered. The legal case surrounding Roman Polanski remains one of the most infamous scandals in Hollywood history. In 1977, Polanski was arrested and charged with unlawful conduct involving a 13-year-old girl named Samantha Gamer. The case revealed disturbing details about coercion, manipulation, and the use of intoxicants during the encounter. This incident painted a dark portrait of Polanski's life, with the crime itself being just one part of the story. More significantly, it was his decision to flee the United States before sentencing that further complicated his public image. Polanski's flight to Europe made him a fugitive and sparked years of legal battles. The U.S. sought his extradition, but several attempts to bring him back were unsuccessful. This left his case at the intersection of complex issues like justice, celebrity privilege, and the public's shifting attitudes toward accountability. While many condemned his actions, Polanski continued to receive support in certain artistic circles, highlighting the complex and often conflicting emotions his life and work evoke. His legacy remains a contentious subject, with some focusing on his cinematic achievements, while others cannot separate the artist from the man. The legal battles, now spanning decades, continue to cast a long shadow over Polanski's career, forcing society to confront difficult questions about crime, punishment, and the role of fame in influencing the legal process. The 1977 incident at Jack Nicholson's home remains one of the most harrowing examples of abuse of power in Hollywood. Polanski, under the guise of a photoshoot, manipulated a vulnerable Samantha Gamer, subjecting her to exploitative and coercive behavior. This episode not only showcased Polanski's disregard for legal and moral boundaries but also exposed the darker side of Hollywood, where power and influence often shield perpetrators from immediate accountability. The setting, a high-profile celebrity residence, further underscored the entrenched culture of impunity within elite circles, igniting widespread public outrage and sparking discussions about systemic abuse within the entertainment industry. In 1978, just before he was set to be sentenced for the crime of statutory rape, Roman Polanski made the fateful decision to flee the United States. This escape turned what was already a highly publicized and controversial case into a decades-long international legal drama. Polanski's flight underscored glaring inequities in the justice system, where wealth, fame, and powerful connections created significant barriers to accountability. By choosing to leave the U.S., Polanski not only complicated any efforts to bring him to justice, but also cast a shadow over the ethical responsibilities of countries that harbored him. As he evaded extradition, Polanski became emblematic of the ways in which celebrity and privilege could warp the legal system, leaving his victim with no closure and the public with lingering anger and frustration. Over the years, Polanski's case has come to symbolize the ways in which fame and wealth have the power to distort justice, often leaving unresolved feelings of injustice among the victims and society at large. Despite being a fugitive from justice, Roman Polanski has managed to continue a successful career in the film industry. His reputation as a talented director has allowed him to create critically acclaimed films, winning prestigious awards like the Palme d'Or at Cannes, and even an Academy Award. His ability to continue working despite legal troubles, particularly a high-profile case involving accusations of sexual assault, has sparked significant debate. Many of Polanski's films have been praised for their artistic quality, with his unique style and storytelling approach garnering admiration from critics and audiences alike. However, his continued success has not come without controversy. For some, the recognition of his work by major film institutions serves as an uncomfortable endorsement of his behavior. This view holds that celebrating Polanski's achievements helps to normalize and excuse his past actions, rather than holding him accountable for them. On the other hand, supporters of Polanski argue that his professional talents should be separated from his personal life, insisting that his contributions to cinema are valuable and deserving of recognition on their own merits. This ongoing division within the film community reflects broader cultural debates about how society should handle the relationship between a person's artistic work and their personal transgressions. Polanski's career raises difficult questions about the entertainment industry's role in navigating ethical concerns while still rewarding talent. His continued success, despite legal and moral accusations, underscores the complexities of separating art from the artist, leaving a lingering question of whether such separation is ever truly possible or morally acceptable. Born into a Jewish family in Poland, Roman Polanski's early life was marked by significant trauma and hardship. He faced the horrors of the Holocaust, a time when many suffered unimaginable losses and cruelty. His mother was taken to Auschwitz, a reality that left a deep impact on him. Polanski's experiences during this dark period of history shaped not just his outlook on life, but also influenced his artistic expressions. The survival instincts he developed, and the pain he endured became threads woven into the fabric of his films. His works often explore themes of existential dread and psychological complexity, reflecting the struggles and fears he faced as a child. While his resilience and ability to channel his traumatic past into creativity stand out, they do not diminish or excuse the gravity of his later actions. This interplay between his tragic childhood and his controversial behavior as an adult creates a complex narrative. Polanski remains a polarizing figure, eliciting strong reactions from the public. His past is a critical backdrop to understanding his art, yet it complicates how audiences view him. The story of his early life invites reflection on the impact of trauma, resilience, and moral accountability, leaving a lasting impression on both his films and the perceptions of his legacy. Notably, Roman Polanski's body of work includes remarkable films such as Rosemary's Baby and Chinatown, which are often regarded as exemplary in cinematic storytelling. These films display his unique ability to create psychological tension, weaving rich narratives that pull viewers into complex emotional experiences. In Rosemary's Baby, the haunting atmosphere and unsettling themes of fear and paranoia are masterfully executed, resonating deeply with audiences. Meanwhile, Chinatown combines a gripping noir style with profound social commentary, showcasing Polanski's keen eye for visual aesthetics and his skill in building intricate plots. However, his cinematic accomplishments are often viewed through the lens of his controversial personal life. Many grapple with the challenge of separating his artistic achievements from the actions that have genuinely caused harm. Questions arise about the ethics of celebrating someone whose conduct has raised significant moral concerns. Even with the continued influence of his work on modern filmmakers, the conversation remains complex. Debates continue about whether appreciation for art can coexist with a thorough examination of the artist's life and choices that may overshadow their creative contributions. The films endure, yet the implications of honoring such a figure linger in the cultural discourse. Beyond the well-known case from 1977, more allegations have emerged against Roman Polanski from several women who claim they faced abuse over many years. These accounts shed light on a troubling pattern of behavior rather than just one singular incident. As these women have come forward, they show remarkable bravery in sharing their stories, which has led to a larger discussion about the environment in the entertainment industry. Many have pointed out a culture of silence and complicity that has permitted powerful figures to act without restraint. This silence has often allowed serious misconduct to go unchallenged, creating an atmosphere where victims feel they cannot speak out. The accumulating allegations against Polanski have worsened his public image, drawing attention to how deeply rooted the issue of abuse is within Hollywood. They also highlight the failures of the systems meant to protect individuals from such behavior, raising critical questions about accountability and justice. The ongoing dialogue prompted by these revelations continues to resonate throughout society. Support for Roman Polanski comes mainly from his wife, Emmanuelle Seiner, and a select group of colleagues and admirers. They point to his extraordinary skills as a filmmaker and argue that his artistic contributions should not be overshadowed by his controversial past. Many of these defenders often highlight Polanski's traumatic childhood experiences, emphasizing how those events shaped his perspective and work. They believe that his life story complicates the view of his actions, suggesting that understanding his history is crucial to framing his later decisions. However, this stance has sparked fierce criticism. Detractors argue that defending Polanski perpetuates a culture that excuses poor behavior and predatory actions under the guise of artistic genius. The discourse surrounding Polanski illustrates a broader societal issue concerning forgiveness and accountability, particularly in how society balances a person's legacy and their transgressions. The sharp divide between those who support and oppose him showcases the complexities of addressing such themes publicly and the challenges of reconciling talent with moral responsibility. Amid the discussion surrounding Roman Polanski's recent comments, it becomes clear that his perspective touches on complex themes of attraction, age, and societal norms. His candid admission highlights a tension between personal opinion and public morality. Many viewers might find themselves grappling with the unsettling nature of his words, as they challenge conventional views on the appropriateness of such desires. The conversation around his statements is likely to provoke varied reactions, from those who appreciate his honesty to those who strongly condemn his views. This division underlines a broader cultural debate about how society perceives relationships across age gaps. As conversations about boundaries, consent, and the implications of such attractions evolve, responses to Polanski's comments may serve as a mirror reflecting changing attitudes toward relationships, art, and ethical considerations in our society.